Get in, Rob. I've got it.
That looks lovely. That's good. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Thanks very much, mate. And the badges are on the back as well. Newcastle United badges. There we go. For anybody who hasn't seen it.
Brilliant.
Rob, very talented guy, mate. And thanks for sending us a piece of history as well. A piece of the Twin Towers. The two towers, not from America, but the ones from Wembley. Made from Wembley Stadium, 1923 to 2000. Made into a nice pair of football boots. There was a suggestion yesterday by Liam Kennedy on the show that John Joe Shelby was wearing these on Friday night for Nottingham Forest. But fantastic, mate. Honestly, thank you. And the other little beauty in here was, people can see that. There's you playing the drums at the 100 Club.
That's right. I forgot all about that. But anyway, yeah,
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic, mate. So thank you very much for sending that through the post, mate. How are you been this week? How are things?
I'm good, apart from the football scores. Well, apart from Newcastle. Newcastle saved the weekend. Hearts got hammered 3-0 by Aberdeen. 3 goals down in 28 minutes. Cowell never played. I don't know why. It wasn't an artificial pitch. I don't know. I don't get it. And it was like, it's like Gaza used to say in his interviews, the things they're doing, he says, can you do that in training? It's basics. So we're still 4 points clear of, in third from Hibs below in Aberdeen. So there's 4 points. So, Gateshead drew 1-1 with Torquay United. So I think the 4 points as well, safe from relegation by game in hand as well. So seemingly the weather was horrific at the International Stadium. Seemingly it was horrific.
Weather was bad late on, afternoon where I was walking back, and it was a torrential downpour when they kicked off, so I got caught in that rain as well. But okay, mate, that's good. Well, that's my football update. Which album are you taking us through today?
It's one of, I'd say, the best overall singer-songwriters this country's ever produced, and all round, even for dancing. I'd like to review this week. You can see it.
God, fuck on the time. Come on.
It's Lindisfarne's on it as well.
So, yeah.
No, that's the humour out of the way for today.
Joking aside.
I bought that at the time when it came out, yeah. So today it's going to be U2 War.
Oh, classic.
Again, from my collection, you'll see, I'm not sure if you can see the label still, John Menzies, it's £3 approximately. I paid for this at the time. Listened to it last few days. Strangely enough, when I opened the sleeve, it's only got the lyrics to one side of the album. That's bizarre. I don't know that. Don't know why. But I used to like sitting reading all the linear notes, etc., etc. So yeah, this album was 1983. Now 1983 was a year. Now that's what Alcohol Music 1 came out. I remember that. Called The Hype originally. U2. It's a post-punk band, sort of like student-y, sort of quite aggressive as well. First 2 albums, I thought I quite liked them both. It was Boy in October. And again, it's the same, don't know his name, it's the same boy that's on these. First cover, Boy, was very controversial, the cover, and Neil got banned in America, so people can do the research why. So it's Paul Hewson, or Bono Vox got his name. I think it was a hearing aid shop in Dublin. Bono Vox was the name of the shop. Dave Evans, The Edge. Now, do you know why it was called The Edge, Steve?
No, I don't. Go on.
Because of his jawline. Simple as that. He had high cheekbones and a sharp jawline, and that's why he's called The Edge. There you go. So I always wondered if he was vegetarian, he'd be called The Veg. I don't know. Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer, who's formed the band in his kitchen, his mother's kitchen, and also you had Adam Clayton as well. And just again, another thing I remembered. You remember when I think he was married to Naomi Campbell at the time, and he was naked on the cover of Actoon Baby,
Right.
which now again I think they should have called it Actoon Bobby. He appeared naked on it. So, yeah, he appeared naked on it. So anyway, yeah, this album, it was Windmill Studios in Dublin. Now me and my wife Sharon, we go to Dublin now and again. We just go for weekend breaks there. Two places I've not been is the Irish Rock and Roll Museum, which is named the Temple Bar area, just off it. We usually stay in that area. And Windmill Lane, I would love just to go there because, the stuff, people, fans writing stuff on the wall, that sort of things. Standout songs for this. The first one, Sunday Bloody Sunday. Did you know the first time I ever played that was in Belfast? And that was Bono he said it was difficult writing it. It was even harder playing it live. So he said to the audience, if you don't like it, we'll never play it again. Simple as that. After they played it there in Belfast, I'm not sure where the venue was, but the band were numb after it. Just, the whole emotion of it. So there's that song, Sunday Bloody Sunday, self-explanatory. New Year's Day, we all know that song as well. That was originally, Bono wrote a song for his wife, Ali, he's still with. It's supposed to be a love song, nothing changes, I will be with you again. So it actually changed into more of a war anthem, because war and, Bono, and it's true, it doesn't stop any day, any occasion, nothing changes on New Year's Day. I do remember at the wartime at Christmas, there was play football, swap gifts, chocolate and cigarettes, that sort of thing. So again, it was just going back to the war theme. And the bass line as well. I mean, I like my post-punk, I like some new romantic stuff. And if you listen to Fade to Grey by Visage, you'll hear the bass line to New Year's Day. When you hear it. Another thing, as a drummer, I was listening to Sunday Bloody Sunday, and I thought, nobody ever picks up the theme of war, which the album is about. The drum's very military style. If you listen to it, very military style. And again, that was Larry Mullen Jr.'s influence. He was a drummer, and he worked in the post office. It was like a military band he was in. So that's where the inspiration came from with that one as well. Two Hearts Beat is one, The Refugee, Surrender. These are all pretty. It's my favourite song now, Surrender. It's just so radio friendly. The warmth, the production of it is an outstanding song. There's a song called 40. They ran out of time in the studio, as you'll know, Steve. You book a room, you book a studio for a certain amount of time, and then your next band's waiting to come in, and that side of it. So they had 2 hours left. So the manager at the time went out, spoke to the other band, said, "Look, can we have the extra time?" So they didn't. The other band, I don't know who they were, said, "No, we can't. We need the space. We booked it." So the song 40 was written, produced, and mixed in 40 minutes. So it's called 40. And because the religion side of it, it's actually Psalm 40 in the Bible as well. The whole words to it is Psalm 40. That's all it is, because that's all they had time to do it. And again, the videos, I was watching, like you say, their hits videos, New Year's Day, when you see, I don't know if you remember it, they were in the snow, freezing cold. Halfway through the video, I didn't realise that it was that cold. They turned up in, shall we say, normal clothes. In Sweden, thick snow, just normal jeans and that. They were too cold, and you can actually see in the picture they're frozen. They had to quit the video halfway through, got on 4 teenage Swedish girls, put long jackets on them, put them on horses, and it's 4 girls to finish the video. There you go. Nice little bit of trivia. Going into that as well, Red Rocks, that came off that Under a Blood Red Sky. I remember buying that. Coming back from a holiday in 1985, I bought the cassette, and again, that was the night I came back and watched Live Aid. Again, picked up on Queen, U2's performance there as well, outstanding. They've done Sunday Bloody Sunday and Bad. Don't know if people watched it. Remember the girl that got pulled up in the crowd and done the dance with them? I don't know what happened to her. I'm sure she'd have a story to tell. I watched the reissue last night of Under a Blood Red Sky. It was at Red Rocks. They cancelled it the night before, but the band says no, horrific rain. It was in Denver, Colorado, Red Rocks. What I liked about Steve, now you'll understand this as a filmmaker, I don't like things so clear, like 4K, like Depeche Mode one's been re-released in 4K. Now, I don't like it because it was never filmed that way. I still like graininess about it. I like originality. Now, I
Yeah.
noticed on last night, I noticed it, and they still had red streaks going across. Now, I think that's the heat of the cameras. I'm not sure, but they left it in deliberately. You just see sort of like red lines now and again. Allegedly, it's from the heat of the cameras. It's sort of the old handhelds. So, I mean, it was 85, yeah, 85, 84, 85. So yeah, they left that in because if I'd taken it off and polished it, you know, I just thought it kept this originality.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask you as well. What's your favourite band? What music do you like? Don't say you like anything. What's your favourite?
For me, yeah, I mean, you know, me go-to band was always the Jam Rob. You know, that was the band I grew up with. I was heartbroken when they disbanded in 1982. I blamed Weller for that. I refused to listen to the Style Council. I got into the Style Council in later life, but yeah, I held it against him. And I think probably the next band that I got into after that was probably Oasis. And when I say get into it, it's a kind of band you go and see, but you also buy the album, you know, without even listening to it when it comes out with a bit of loyalty you used to back in the day. And I think since then, it's been few and far between. A band that I've gone to see consistently, probably in more recent times, has been the Arctic Monkeys. Although the later stuff I'm not too much of a fan of. I listen to a lot of, I listen to Weller. But I've got a really diverse taste in music, really thanks to my dad. You know, my dad's a huge Dylan fan. Been to see him live 4 times. Bob Seger, Steve Forbett, you know, people who you wouldn't expect. Warren Zevon, lots of diverse music. I like a lot of Clapton, especially the Cream stuff that he, you know, the earlier stuff that he did. But yeah, I've got a pretty diverse. I mean, but you know, even going into dance music, I'm a big trance fan. You know, so I've dipped my toe in a lot of different areas, and obviously I managed the long sounds. The music that we use for NUFC Matters, Worlds Collide is a long sound song, and you know, I was a fan of the band. I ended up managing them, and you know, I ended up helping them produce and release 2 albums. So you know, that for me is an immensely proud part of my life, because I've been on the road. I've you know, got managed a band. You know, I got them to the heady heights of doing a live 45-minute show on Radio 2 with Whisper and Bob. The band came out at the wrong time. I think had we got them out 5 years earlier, 6 years earlier, had they been around then and I'd been involved, I think we could have got them to where they wanted to be. But I'm hoping that they'll come back and make a 3rd album. Never say never. It took Elbow 5 studio albums to get to that commercial level. So you never know. You know, they may well write a 3rd album which hits the right notes and gets into the right places, and we might just see a bit of a revival. Who knows? But yeah, that's my musical taste, mate. And I do like you too. Again, it was a bit heavy and deep for me when I was at college, and which was when U2 came to fame when I was like 16, 17, 18. But you know, as I grew older, I began to appreciate what it meant. I was pretty much the same with the Smiths as well. I like the Smiths, I like Johnny Marr, I like Morrissey. I like a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I've got a wide taste in music, Rob.
I remember, never forget 2 weeks little stories about Oasis here. I'll never forget the first time I ever heard them was walking down the stairs from Princes Street, HMV, and Cigarettes and Alcohol came on. I'll never forget standing on the landing. I thought it was the Sex Pistols. See the opening line, the lyrics. It's the snarliness, how he says imagination. And I thought, who's that? And that was my first ever impression. Then when we played the 100 Club, and they're speaking to the promoter there, I was asking about the stories and bands played there, and he said there was this band came on once. It was absolutely dreadful. They would pick up the guitars, fighting on stage, played about 3 songs, and the security at the 100 Club had to talk them out the door and said, who was it? He went, it was Oasis. So yeah, there you go. So
yeah. And I mean, I dipped my toe into the promoting. You know, I did a lot of the 80s bands for many years. I did From the Jam, which, of course, at one point had Rick Buckler and Bruce Foxton in. So I got to know them quite well. I ended up, promoting Bad Manners, Tapau, those, that kind of big country. Obviously the revised version once, with the new lead singer, etc. So yeah, I've done quite a few, and I've always enjoyed it, and become friends with people, like the Happy Mondays. Alan McGee's a good friend of mine. Got to know Bez and Sean Ryder very well. So it's a bit weird for me. I've gone from being a fan to being a friend, and in so many different walks of life. But even with music, and it's a journey I never expected to go on, and one which I fell into, but one which I'm glad I did, because I've got an appreciation of music, and I know how to promote events. But yeah, fascinating, mate. You too, though. Great stuff, great album. Anything more to say on this one, Rob?
Again, it's like we're talking about when you're younger, you don't get it, you don't understand, and it's a bit deep. Now we're older. I just suggest to people, the whole point of this for me is get your LPs out, go to the second-hand record shop, start buying your albums again and enjoying them, and it'll take you back to your youth. You'll start picking up and you'll start understanding the songs, and you'll get it, that sort of thing. Because I've been doing that all this week, even with Happy Mondays. I've been watching a lot this week between the Happy Mondays. So what I'm going to do just now, Steve, is I'm going to now just say what album I'm going to do next week, because it's one of my favourite bands of all time. I'll not say what album, but it's going to be a big country album. Massive influence for me.
Brilliant stuff, mate. I must have read your mind. So look forward to that, mate. You have a good week. Keep an eye on Garen Coal for us. Hopefully he gets a little bit of a run out next week. And for now, Rob, thanks very much, mate. Take care. Big thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to Skips and Bins. Telephone 0800 25 45 25 3. Email inquiries at skipsandbins.com. Website skipsandbins.com. Easy contract free and pay as you go waste collection. Thanks to Mr. Vicky's Sauces, handmade in Cumbria. And you can find them at mrvickies.co.uk. Email info@mrvickies.co.uk and place an order by phoning 01768 210 102. Thanks to Fruy Vita Getaways. Book your holidays or short breaks in the UK or around the world with them. Let them find your happy place. ABTA and ATOL registered. You can contact them by emailing fruivitagetaways@gmail.com. Call or text 0792 842 7895 and join their Facebook group at Fruy Vita Getaways. Thanks to Media Arts for all the technical help and videos that they do. And thanks to qtechshop.co.uk, the makers of pool tables and snooker tables in Wallsend, Newcastle. If you want to join the channel, click join, and you can see the various rates that you can pay to help support us. If you want to join by subscribing, hit the subscribe button. That is free. Hit the thumb up under the video to help the algorithm, and click share to other social media platforms. If you do subscribe, we do give you a free car sticker. Just email John at nufcmatters.com and he will post you one out. If you want to join the cult, which is a one-off payment of £25, where you get a scarf, a pen, a cup, and entry into the monthly draw, then go to nufcmatters.com and look for the cult membership, or put your phone over this smart code and it will take you straight there. We are available as well as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and the rest. And we do support the food bank on this channel. So if you want to make a virtual donation from anywhere in the world, go to nufcfansfoodbank.co.uk and put your money into the match day bucket. We've got some events coming up. First off in April, April the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 11th. Peter Beardsley Soccer School is back for ages 6 to 16 years. Go to peterbeardsley.soccerschool.com for more information. An evening with John Anderson at the Time House Surf Cafe, Tuesday the 18th of April. Book your tickets direct from the venue. An evening with Frank Clark and John Gibson 2 nights later, Thursday the 20th of April at the Irish Centre. Tickets from nufcmatters.com. An evening with Nobby Solano at Laurel's in Whitley Bay is May the 11th. So contact the venue direct if you want to go to that event. And we've got our NUFC Matters end of season party, which is the 27th of May at 7 o'clock. Tickets are a tenner from nufcmatters.com. An evening with Rob Lee at Louis Liquor Store, 1st of June. and tickets direct from the venue. And an evening with Rob Lee, Lee Clark and John Beresford, Friday the 2nd of June at the Grand Hotel Gosforth, which is in aid of the Healing Tour charity. And you can get your tickets direct from them at the healingtour.org.uk website. Just click events. A little bit later in the year, an evening with Gavin Peacock, July the 10th. Tickets from nufcmatters.com for that one. And if you like your boxing, a night of champions featuring Frank Bruno, Ricky Hatton, Nigel Benn and Joe Calzaghe. Tickets for that one from goldstarpromotions.com.